You travel from one side to the world to the next.
Hey, Ian, hold on, let me go take a look. Oh, Tom. Well, let me turn this down. I have so many windows up right now. There we go. In theory, that should be good. Don't ask me if it's good. I got the alerts on gold, but I was busy. My son has tryouts for the next season competitive league thing, so that's where I was. But I missed a lot of that. I caught a baby amount. Caught some of that earlier today. I'll move it out the way. I think that was when we were discussing stuff, end of class on that's gold. Yeah. We kept pushing down on the day, so didn't take a trade on that, but beautiful overall. Jeez Louise. You said it went down? Hold on, gold just went nuts and dropped 20 minutes ago. I was just in a buy scalp. Hold up. That's 30-second time frame. Let's go to the 1 minute. Well, that's our 8 p.m. 8 p.m. was super smooth. It was clean today. It was perfect. I mean, no drama, no nonsense, no pullbacks, no nothing. It was the perfect trade. So let's see what we get here. I have to do the announcement on our prop firm giveaway, announce the next giveaway, and I do at least one live per week, publicly live on YouTube, and just kind of, it's a perfect little setup. I'm glad. I need music. I wish YouTube would let us put on some real jams, but they just block every video when we put it on. Need music. Always is kind of like, especially on YouTube. I've got people on Zoom here, so they're gonna mute themselves here shortly. Oh, I'm gonna mute them shortly, but what do you mean? The 2-minute drop was crazy? What time? Because this is 14. I might have to refresh everything. This is 16. We're not up to date. Hold on. That's why I was like, I have no idea what you're talking about. I haven't looked at gold though. I got alerts on it and stuff, but I just haven't looked at it. Let's clean this up. Let's get fresh price action. That's the drop. I was like, this view is not viewing right now. So that's 230, 1600. And now let's go to extended trading hours. There we go. That makes more sense. That's 20 o'clock. That's that drop. It's probably a pretty big drop. Now we're going to put this at 21. Let's go see what we get on the 9 o'clock breakout. Let me pull up my Zoom for y'all people. Hey, Jenny. Blessings. Okay, I'm going to mute all the participants on Zoom. I'm going to make it to where you guys kind of mute yourself. Mute all. There you go. Before I get started, we got about 6 minutes until the 9 o'clock. Remember, I made this completely customizable, meaning you can do whatever you want, however you want, because ideally that's real trading. There's nothing any but one of us is going to teach that's going to be any different than you. But starting at the top, we're giving away over $1 million in prizes this year. I think we're in May now, and we're probably over halfway there. I'm gonna have to go check, like, to run up the numbers, but kind of awesome. We're giving away free EAs that are literally used on actual hedge funds and managed money. We're giving away free live one-on-ones, prop firms, 50K prop firms. Again, I am not at the place where I'm getting a bunch of free prop firms from all these companies. It is out of my own pocket. So please make sure if you're purchasing any prop firms, Blue Guardian, Take Profit Trader, Apex, use 6FTC as your code. It will get you the best price that they have at the time. Obviously, Take Profit Trader, really easy withdrawal process, very easy, seamless situation, but we know why Apex is what it is. It is what it is because it's the home of the $2 million payout. So it's hard to learn. It doesn't make them a scam. It's hard to work with. It's hard to navigate. So that's kind of my end all be all goal is I want to hit a 6 and 7 figure payout with Apex. Blue Guardian is just also really simple. Very consistent payouts, very, very easy to work with. Their banking system's weird if you live in America because they kind of decline your payment because the company's in Dubai. But other than that, that is the most headache I've ever dealt with from them. So seamless platform, seamless process, no big drama. All three of those platforms use code 6FTC. And before we go any further, trade at your own risk. This is for entertainment and fun and educational purposes only. So that's it. Josiah, I'm the problem. I had it on because at the end of class today, and I haven't, this is my class template. I had it on regular trading hours. That's why I couldn't see what y'all saw. I was like, I have no idea. And I hadn't been trading this evening. I looked real quick. I got some alerts. Took a little bit on NQ and ES, but that was it. And that was earlier too. So that was from Tradeovate. Okay, music is down. Zoom, y'all can unmute. You guys know the drill. And it's 3 minutes. So you guys already know this is the breakout system that we built. It's a 6FTC breakout script. We've got it as a script. We've got it as a strategy. And then I have it as another flow bot. Whole process, lots of works, lots of little things that are going into it. Right now, all I did was move it from the 20 o'clock, which was my strategy. It was kind of what we talked about in terms of 6FTC Sydney strategy. But tonight I'm here at 9 because, well, it worked better for my schedule and I couldn't do Tuesday with tech problems. So just to go to show, you can use any session, anytime, whatever you want, totally up to you. And the rest of it is all individual to me. So now I'm just waiting. You guys already know I got a couple EMAs on the chart. You can leave them or not. A VWAP, this one's okay, not super in love. Now I'm gonna go the 2 minute, I'm gonna hit save and I'm just gonna chill out. So this green line was the target we were talking about earlier in class, which we don't even need it anymore. That was our target. We were in class at 1600 to come in there, but we had got off a little bit before then. So that was one target. We smoked that, came back down, missed it, and this is where we're sitting now. So we don't desperately need that. Had great trades this morning. The only one that was really break even is ES. And then when I hit buy and sell right before the news, other than that, perfect trading day. An overall great profitable week. So our automation is doing really well. Actually, let me pull that up real quick because we've got 2 minutes. Let's see. Just kind of give us an idea. This is what we're doing inside the community. So if you're not already a member currently of our public group, and you're watching this from YouTube, oh, I love this guy. That's freaking awesome. I didn't even see that until just now. Way to freaking go. But quite a few people are getting payouts from different prop firms using either our EA and or their futures accounts using the breakout strategy or the JGS. And it's really cool. So they're testing things. There's trial, there's error, there's failure, there's everything in between. It's the real. It's not the sales pitch, the let me only show you good. It's the good, the bad, and the ugly, and everything in between. And trust me, as we all know, that definitely does happen. So just this is what we're doing inside of our community. It's a great place to be if you're not already there. Link is in the link tree. And of course, our US 30 copier, I probably need to go get some updated results, but doing really well. We got one closing day really since the beginning of the year. And we took a pretty decent little, most days we close before New York even opens. We close during London, goes over our class results, and just this is what we've been doing over and over and over again. Hands-free, automated, US 30 and NAS, and it's going really, really well. So Our winner, okay, actually the most recent one, which is why I need to pull this up. Our winner, and then here in a few minutes, I'll do the secret code that you need for the next giveaway, for our next $50,000 prop firm giveaway. But this week's winner, it's opening bell now. Well, not opening, but opening session is Daniel. So you should have an email from us. I will double check to make sure that I haven't missed it, but please make sure you go double check your email so I can get you those funds for your 50K giveaway. And however you do want it, keep us posted. Like, I want to know the good, the bad, and the ugly and everything you go through. So as always, the results of this is going to be posted first in our Discord. So if you're not already a member, check it out. And that's that. Now I'm coming here. Just pause. My 2 minute, the drop was huge on gold, huh? That is a huge drop. We were down already a lot in percentages yesterday, too. The price just moved so much yesterday. Well, business day today, I guess. But this is our opening candle. So 2 minutes, we've got still 50 seconds left on our 2 minute opening range. We've already made a pretty outsized move. We already know where we're going to be moving back up to. I don't know if this was yesterday's high or that's pre-market high. This was close of yesterday. To see us pop up if we get the close, but we've still got 30 seconds left on that candle. Yes, I would love to see us come and give a little bit of this back, fill up some of this liquidity. We've got yesterday's probably pre-market low and pre-market high. And 19 seconds left. Really, all I'm gonna do is take the break. Nothing sexy, nothing super planned. I'm okay with grabbing liquidity on either side because tomorrow's NFP. Just get what you get and don't throw a fit and then get out. So I've set up a cross trade, but still tweaking it with your indicator. Hopefully by London it'll activate. Okay, just pause. What's your name? Just pause. What's your name like in real life? And which service are you using for that exchange? Because I had a meeting yesterday with a really interesting person and company. I'm going to set it up over the weekend to test some things out. And I think it will very effectively do the job plus 1,000% more in order to take strategies, so indicators and/or strategies, and turn them into automation for your futures. And since it's so customizable, you're not violating any of the props rules. You're still within your boundaries because it is your strategy. It is your way. So I'm very excited about it. It's just going to be a process. Just going to be a process. Gold, we've got a wick to the upside. I'd love to at least come into this area. 2 minutes left. No minutes left, but we need minutes for this to move. ES is looking a little bearish. We're definitely bullish. So any bearish trade we take is completely against what we just went through, but we want to take that little bit of a move. Josiah, not Josiah, I'm so sorry. I'm going to mess it up forever. And when I scream that name across the soccer field, he's going to look at me crazy too. But anyways, Joshua, did you make any money on gold?
I did not.
Didn't take it.
I think my brother did though. I think he did. I think he made money on it. I don't know. I didn't. No, I was dealing with my daughter, and so I had some stuff going on. So I didn't catch 7 or 8 o'clock bells. So I said,
I caught MES though.
look at all right, brother.
I wanted to be in both of them, but I was watching MES too. I was following that stop loss.
That's awesome. You were trailing it. How much did you make on MES?
Let's see, 700.
That's not bad at all. Wait, minis or micros?
Micros.
Oh, that's really good. Okay.
Awesome.
Yeah, I followed it all the way.
Jenny, get you a sticky note and put on your sticky note Joshua.
Don't.
Yeah, spell it out like the dictionary.
Wait, listen, I got Josh, who's my goalie. Okay. He's like my midfielder. I've got Joshua, Josh. I've got 3 different mics, Mike, Michael, Mikey, and we have no idea what to call them, any of them, because there's 3 of them. It's just so many, and I'm like, blah, 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 but just the words and the letters are rolling off my tongue, and I'm like, please, just know I like you for you, even if I don't get the other part right.
At
Okay.
least she knows it starts with a J, Joshua.
That's it. Hey, hey, at least I respect that, right, Donna?
Right?
Thank you.
We'll just call you Jay. How about Jay?
That's it. That's good enough. Just say Jay.
That's what I told you the other day. I'm just gonna call you Jay because like I'm like, and then the other thing is like the names are scrolling on my screen so fast. I'm like,
Now you could stutter. Just make it JJ.
There you go.
There you go, Scott. That's it. Yep.
Hey Scott, how are you doing this evening?
I'm doing all right. You know, I played in a band with 3 Daves in it.
How did you do that?
Last names.
Oh, that sounds even more complicated, but I mean, probably a good idea.
Of course, the drummer's last name was Bass.
Oh, that's not gonna work. What did the bass player, what was his last name? Because that would just mess me up by visual.
Mowers.
Oh yeah, no. Couldn't do it. Could not
And
do
he
it.
wasn't a Dave either.
Oh, I could see that being a mess. I could definitely.
You find a way, get used to it.
Yeah, we will. I love you very, 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 very much. Hold on. Ready? Joshua. Okay, I'm so happy and excited for what you're doing. Honestly, you and your brother. For real, for real. So I got it right this time. And I'll get used to it eventually.
Thank you. I appreciate
If I
it.
don't, just don't hate me. Just laugh with me or laugh at me. It's okay.
Yes,
We always laugh at you, Jenny.
It's okay.
always.
I've gotten more comfortable with it. Maybe all those brothers were just good training. Maybe that's what it comes down to.
We laugh with you and at you.
They did not laugh with me. Okay. So
I laugh at everything, so it's, it's fine.
there's that. All right, guys, nothing. 8 p.m. was the big move. I'm just going to hang out for a little while. If you guys got questions on the indicator, the strategy, all the things, if you're live on YouTube with us, I know that box says somewhere. I'm going to get more familiar. Ask your questions. Come on out because I'm only going to hang out for a little while. I wanted to break out, but it's not breaking out. So
I got a
think the
question.
traders are hungover.
I'm sorry. Well, Scott first, and then I would call you by your screen name, but it's not even.
I think these traders are just hungover.
I bet they are. I was kind of expecting a little bit more of less of a move. I
Well,
figured
this time isn't exactly a market open. The Tokyo Open would be at the
7.
previous hour, and Sydney's an hour before that.
Yeah.
So, this is just a random hour.
Yes, sir. But I was thinking tomorrow's NFP. We've already had some huge outside moves on the week. I was like, we're probably gonna digest a little bit and make our big move, during New York. But our big moves have been happening every other time at this point. It just chops around during New York Open anymore. Because this is the 8 o'clock. We come down a little bit and just take off and nothing yet. So here's a yes. I'd like to just feel a little bit of this imbalance. I don't need a lot. Gold, I was hoping for, we're still respecting 50% of that break. And Scott's right. This is literally just a random hour. This isn't some secret sauce. It's just a random hour that is convenient for my schedule. So I'm telling the market to, do what it's going to do. But that's NQ on the break. I'm going to go over to my Apex on Tradeovate because I don't like trading on, I hate trading on whatever this is called. Let me go to the right brokerage too. Got it.
Spread's opening up on ES.
So I'm in this trade, can't unbe in this trade. That's NQ. I'm not mirroring this. I don't need a lot, and I don't plan on trading for the most part tomorrow. I'm going to take some me time. There is also the VWAP, which we're kind of bouncing off of. I don't need a lot. I wouldn't mind coming up just above this structure, which is going to be, what is that, 9919884. Remember, my trail's going to kick in within about 4 to 5 points. So that's going to automatically protect me or lock this trade. If we're kind of getting and closing above here, I might just take my little loss and move on. This is the actual 2-minute range. So we're pulling against right now. And then we'll see how that plays out. I will pull that back on screen. But let's look at gold. Oh, I probably should handle that too. just wicked down, wicked right off that little moving average. So hopefully we can stay below, but it's an aggressive entry and we'll see. We're definitely not the only ones trying to sell this. That big old outsized move, everybody and their mom is going to sell it. So they're probably going to manipulate it a lot. Hopefully enough for us to get our little move off of it, and that's it. But gold, I'd like to see if gold is going to break out. I'm sitting 200 to 150 bucks in drawdown, 150-ish, 120, just bounce around. I'm going to keep an eye on this one. This way we've got a metal and we've got an index and we're good. Jenny, I'm trying to use the EAs and indicators, but I don't have a license key. I'm still waiting on an email. That Sherry should be reasonably automatic. So if you don't have it, actually this gentleman you hear speaking, he's the resident genius in terms of MT5, but he's the one who built and designed that licensing system. So in theory, the second you've typed in the group code and your email and clicked allow DLL imports, you should be getting that immediately. If not, okay, you need to check your spam and check all the things. But it's really that simple. We just popped in a profit, but pop right back out. So can you double check who it's coming from? It's still coming from cooltradingtools.com, right?
No, fairtradelicensing.com.
Fairtradelicensing.com. Can you check your spam and all those emails for that? Because people are doing amazing things. It is a lot of testing. It's a lot of data. It's a lot of failing to succeed. It's not easy. Even myself on Wednesday, I should not have been logged into TradingView, Tradeovate, and Ninja. And in that process, logging in and logging out, I ended up with orders on the accounts I intentionally didn't want to trade because I didn't want to put them at risk. But when I logged in and logged back out, I had NQ clicked yes, okay? And I had taken NQ on the other broker, so I ended up blowing 2 funded accounts with Take Profit Trader and 5 with, so 5 actual PA accounts and then a couple of evals too. That was this group of trades I wasn't even trying to take. That was the group of trades I was trying to like overly protect. And just in the process, it's a mess. So when I say those EAs can do some amazing things, they can, but it's a lot of testing. It's a lot of succeeding to fail. It's a lot of comprehending and planning and getting comfortable with all the process that goes into that. So did you say fair trading? Fair
Trade licensing.
fair licensing.
Fair trade licensing.
Fair trade licensing.
Like fair trade coffee.
Like fair trade coffee. There you go. Let me go get my gold here. I'm going to do a different, well, I'm going to do the same account, I suppose. Gold's buying up a little bit, only a baby bit.
We technically got a break on ES.
I would have rather taken ES because ES is the one I've done by far the best with. It's just smoother. It's a little bit cleaner. So I'm in my gold trade as well. 1 contract. This is a large account. I wouldn't be trading 1 mini if this wasn't a large account. My entry price is 3244. So just slightly. Hold on, 324. Ish, yeah. And again, we just bounced off that VWAP. So that VWAP, I'd love to have got in and taken profit right there, but I wasn't even quick enough. Took too long. Way too long. As we
Like we're
come
breaking out high now. Yep. There she goes.
we got to break to the upside. Oh no. More upside. Hold on. I'm clicking all my charts so I can actually see them. We're also sitting at a pivot point. Move this out of the way. So I'm going to lock this as soon as possible. And then I'm going to go take a look at my NQ. That's where my gold is sitting. My NQ may or may not be up or down. Probably down with that. See, it's still sitting. So sitting on 380 negative. See if we can still respect that. Probably not. I'd like to be able to drag this in and protect a little bit more, but we'll see. As we pull back down, I'm going to pull up NQ so I can actually see what's happening. Big bullish candle still inside of that little range. I think we're 1 minute till the 15-minute candle is formed, and it formed with a nice downward wick. Nice downside wick. See if we can't pull down a bit. Get me closer to break even. Still floating for now. And the 15-minute candle, I'd like to at least swing up, take out some of that liquidity. Getting ready to get knocked out of NQ. Bet. 8 o'clock was the winner. Just got knocked out of NQ. Boom. So it got knocked out. I was hoping for it to just pull down enough to get me closer to break even, but couldn't get it. And there's your 15 minutes. So I'm going to track gold. It is what it is. The good, the bad, and the ugly. That's the downside to being on the smaller time frame. And after such an outside move, there's no great answer. And we're pulling back now just enough to just by a tick knock me in and watch it come right back down to that entry spot. Like a brat. Gold should be in profit. The gold's points aren't worth the same. They don't move enough points because the ATR is too low for me to make up all of that on just gold. I mean, this would have to go pretty hard, pretty far, I think. How many points is that? 9, 10. So I would need about into here to be break even from the NQ loss and then this gain. To be honestly break even. So we'll see. We will see. The good, the bad, and the ugly. And that's ugly. Stupid them. They just popped up just enough too. See if we can't get a little bit more on that. Just look at that. Literally by a tick. If my stop loss was just slightly higher, that would be fine. But no. I would have been just fine. Still sitting or pretty close to entry. 2-minute time frame. We're still technically in the range. Took it without the close, kind of part of the process sometimes. And watch it go in my favor anyway. Because they're just looking to take up some of this. That's all. Sherry, did you get the email or did you double check? I'm going to keep an eye on ES for the moment being. We moved up. If we can respect that midline, I wouldn't mind coming to take out that liquidity, but we've already kind of been there, done that. Added a contract to gold to see if I can't make up just enough there. And I'm floating with 140. And we're moving down anyways. What a brat. Break, retest, and now we're getting that close to the downside. So we could try this one more time if you're interested. Short here only after the close. We needed to close because we've got this move. We've got our most recent candle is bullish, whereas like right here, our most recent big candle is bearish. I wouldn't have mind retested that respected this engulfing bearish candle, but right now our most recent engulfing candle, momentum candle is to the upside. So I really need to see a candle close in our direction because this candle right here. I'm going to wait and keep this off to the side and I'll keep it bladed until it's time. On that or on ES. Again, most recent candle is definitely bullish. Gold hit 2-minute range and the VWAP. I wouldn't be surprised to see a pull down, a pullback. See if we can't shoot up just a little bit more. Did you try? So you typed in your email, you added the group code, which remember change every month. Oh, the new one should be out today. Pulling down now.
Yeah, the old one should still work though.
The old one will work for at least I think it's 2 days, right?
Yeah. You get 2 grace days.
Nope. So the other one should work. And did you click allowed yellow imports and then hit OK? Scott, since you're on here, you're not getting any licensing that like requests from.
I'm going to look right now, in fact. I think I'm here we go.
Now gold's gonna move down. So can't trade this. Most recent. So one loss, one little win, coming back, pull back. We're probably coming back down. This is a bigger flag, you guys. Much bigger. So we hit one target, not enough to make up for that NQ. But again, the move happened at 8. It happened without us. So sometimes it happens perfectly at the wrong time. Nothing I can do. Oh, she's got it now.
Yeah, okay, good.
All right, awesome. Thank you. I'm glad that you were here to ask. Most of the things people experience are these little itty bitty things that seem insurmountable, but most of them. We're retesting that. Let's see how that goes. I might look for another entry. Otherwise, ES and NQ are just going up. So I can't look for a sell. Can't do it. I do think if we're coming up, though, we're coming all the way up. Quite a bit of ways. That's a good buy. A very good buy. And you got the confirmation, and it's moving. Push. Do you mean like a group code, Sherry?
No, it's asking me for it's the news license. So do we need to put in a code for news?
I click on, if you're trying to do the Sniper Pro, click on no in terms of the news for now.
Okay, thank you.
I think it'll still check for it though.
It'll still check for it. So
Okay.
So what you need to do is there is a news indicator that you need to load into your indicators folder. And make sure that you do any renaming, you know, like you did with the Sniper Pro, where you know, make sure the underscores are turned into spaces. Then it'll work. But it is not finding the that indicator right now, is my guess.
So you say on the news part of the Sniper Pro, you were supposed to put it on not to filter it or yes?
That's a
Well,
you choice.
it's a you choice, but Robert ran into a problem. So he was checking the logs and the journal here recently, and he's the one who's just, he'll mess with everything until it breaks or until it doesn't. But he found he wasn't collecting the data. And I don't know if it had to do with his broker, because all my stuff was showing that it worked just fine. But I can't speak in terms of his. So I sent it to the developer to double check. Because again, some of the stuff people experience, I just have no control over, like why they're experiencing the anomaly. So if you have an anomaly, I forget if it's in your journal or your logs, or I'd have to go back and double check. I think I pinned the message. But to where it says it's not receiving the data, then there's that. Look at that big
Well,
old.
I do notice on mine, like if I put it on my VPS, I don't see none of the news on the screen. But if I don't put it on the VPS, the news pops up in red letters. I don't know why, but I have had no problems with it. And I did put it on yes to filter, but I don't notice any difference. But
Well,
I just posted today in the public chat my results for the month, and it's almost 29%.
that's
Well,
not.
it won't change anything on the screen. What it will do is just not take trades within a time band around the news events.
Yeah, mine's set to 60 minutes per before and 60 minutes after. But I don't notice any difference. But I got it turned off for tomorrow because I'm in quite a bit of drawdown right now.
Well,
What's
be
your
careful. Turned off, that might mean that you are not filtering for news.
Well,
the
if I
automatic trading turned off is what you're saying, right? Automatic trading.
yeah, I don't want it to take any more trades.
Got it. Got it.
Yeah.
What's your drawdown right now, David?
So on my prop firm, my drawdown is actually it went back up. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 trades in at 0.04 on a $10,000 prop firm and $84 in drawdown. On the $500 account, that's now $989, $23 in drawdown, same amount of trades.
What's your available margin percentage? Because that draw, I mean, I know for props, we have to be, considerate of that, but that drawdown is easy peasy. That's
3,000, my margin level is 3,197.
yeah, so for me, like not for props, but for me, you're fine.
Yeah, I think so too. And then I know I'm fine on the 5, but it's just like this thing is, it's the answer to a prayer. I'm telling you, it's just a money printer.
Well, I'm so happy to hear that. Just wait till you see whatever else we're working on. Like
Oh, I can't. I'm biting my nails off. I can't wait.
my dragonfly beats that 10 to 1. And I don't mean in profit, I mean in manageability and in
Yeah.
overall approach. And that's really because we can make money. Like I've got 1,000 things that'll money, but if you can't keep the money, it's like, well, this isn't that cool. Like it's gonna be awesome. So that and then hopefully automating this stuff for futures. And if people don't get greedy and don't get dumb, sure, sometimes you like take gold. Okay. You got one. If I had that on automation, for example, I would have got one, I guess, 0.5 to 1 trade out. And I'd be done. So this wouldn't take another trade on this. If I did ES, not ES, let's go to NQ because we took a trade on NQ. So what this would have done on the 2 minute is it would take one full size loss, okay, or depending on what your settings are, if it's 50% or whole, and that's going to knock you in by a tick. But then it would have taken this one and you would have won. And again, depending on your settings, it's a 2 to 1 or a 1 to 1. So you'd still be up on the day based off whatever your risk parameters are, 1 to 20%. Like literally. That's all automated. And then just don't touch it. That's the hard part is just don't touch it. Just don't.
The what is this called? I can't remember what it's called. Just a second, I'll tell you. Forex trading to FX where you can monitor your trades.
My FX book.
Yes, thank you. So I posted a screenshot of it, and it's 28.82 for the month gain, but it says the drawdown is 32.32%.
That's the max it got. Is that on your little $500 account? And
Yes.
yeah, you're trading some powerful stuff on $500. Like, so for me, that would make sense. Like 32%. How many pairs are you trading?
4.
Yeah. If you're trading $500, I mean, maybe if you want, you're
Well,
gonna,
it's 989 now.
yeah, you made 100% gains in a month. So let's be practical. If we're made 100% gains in a month, we can't expect to do that without risking some. So
Yeah.
down to maybe 2 pairs.
So the monthly drawdown, let's see, no. The daily drawdown is 0.91%.
0.9. Or you mean
0.9, yeah, 0.91% for daily drawdown.
I don't think I understand. You'd have to send a screenshot to the Discord.
I did.
Okay. I was
It's
like,
in the public chat.
okay, tag me in it because hold on, let me go to the Discord real
It's
quick.
the very last one in the public chat,
Okay, let's go take a look.
right there.
Okay, let's pull it up. So, oh, the daily growth. Okay, this is growth is 0.9.
Oh, it's growth. Okay.
Yeah. The balance is $900 total gain. Okay, on the account. I love their math. It's always special to me. So it's 28%. You know that you've risked about what you've gained. I mean, give or take, plus there's fees and everything else that goes into it. But to be playing with $500, I mean, that's not bad. I would still probably, and keep in mind, you did this one during one of the most volatile months we've experienced in a long time.
Yeah.
We went up, what did we say in class this morning? 27 or 27% and back down 27%. Like it, so we move and then bajillions of percents in between. So for it to be, that's not a bad way to be, but I would still probably maybe consider limiting 1 pair and then just letting this print money. And then once you're, at break even, then set yourself a withdrawal schedule. Make sure you keep off-risk capital, and you've got something that literally beats the QQQ and the gains on a lot of Bitcoins and everything else. If you can manage it, if you can mitigate it, then you're good.
One thing to be careful of with this Sniper Pro, though, is that the entry that it takes is somewhat random. It's a coin flip, and it's managing its way out of a problem. But you can get caught on the wrong side of that. And somebody else might be trading the same thing with the same settings and can win, and you can lose.
Yeah, I noticed too that demo accounts do not trade like live accounts. They're totally different.
Well, so when we talk about backtesting, when we've talked about this before, maybe it's been a little while, it's probably a good time to bring it up. People backtest and they're like, well, my backtest shows 80% or my backtest shows 500%. That's great. But I would factor 20% off of that just for human error and comprehension, another 20% off of that for technology, news, unforeseen circumstances, glitches, especially if you're using any version of meta quotes. We all know that they're all jacked versions at this point. They're all cracked versions of a software that is no longer even viable, particularly to US. Well, specifically, I shouldn't say particularly, but specifically to US citizens. It's a cracked version. So when you compile all the things that go into it, and then of course candles, ES is supposed to be the exact mirror or pretty darn close to MES. It's not. Even on TradingView, LuxAlgo, one of the #1 developers of scripts for PineScript and TradingView, don't just listen to me, but go take a look at ES as opposed to MES and look how much they differ on the same exact indicator, because it reads it a little bit different. Price action is slightly different. And when you combine the candle formation, the price on live to demo, the price action is different. It's not a lot different, but it is different enough. The spread is different. It's not a lot different, but it is different enough to create a measurable, a statistically significant difference. So if our back test, I think Robert, he's got the longest standing back test in terms of Sniper Pro. If it's saying blah, blah, blah % gains in 90 days, I would take that number and I would not even plan on getting any more than like 80% of that. And that would be the idealistic target, like the pipe dream, the perfect scenario target would be 80% at the very best of whatever your demo results showed or whatever your back test results showed. And that's when I first started building with algorithms a lot of years ago. Again, I failed forward, but man, I failed a lot to get a little better. What we did is we can prove, hey, look, for example, Dragonfly can survive 20 years worth of chaos in the market, technically, for 20-year back-tested tick data with varying spreads. But even with varying spreads, considering a pretty high, and I'm just rambling right now, I'm sorry, but even with varying spreads, considering a very higher spread than normal, take something like AFX, for example, you're still going to have a 20% difference from that and a 20% difference from that. So when me and like my developers or teams that I've worked with in the past, when we look at things back tested or demo results, I typically am looking for about 60% of that. 60% is what I'm targeting. 80% would be ideal, because you're never going to get anywhere near 100% of what you get on demo for a whole host of reasons, candles to price action, to different reads, to spreads, so, I mean, the list is endless, but 100%. 100%. Either way, you're doing great though. You're doing great on live. You're doing great on your prop. Just plan to mitigate. I will say I have a lot of negative things to say in terms of different versions of different things, including Sniper Pro. But I think what Sniper Pro is teaching people is it doesn't have to be perfect to be profitable. I think there's definitely some known weaknesses, but people are still having success, getting results, and learning to mitigate. And for that, one guy in the group, he's making 6 figures. Now, granted, he's not starting with 500. He's playing with much larger amounts of money, but Sniper Pro is making him 6 figures a month based off of his balance, pretty much hands-free. He just has to mitigate when it gets in a mess. And that's it. So definitely not a bad way to be. Not at all. But if there's any questions, I'll take those. I'll check YouTube and I'll check the Zoom chat. Otherwise, gold might be pushing back up. Kind of missed the buy because I wasn't paying attention. And honestly, I just didn't want the buy. Otherwise, that would have paid off really well twice. And gold might be coming back in the range we retested. See if we can't buy back out because that's a valid retest right there. So we'll see. I might try to grab gold one more time, but it's not looking. 15-minute time frame, big bearish candle, retested 50%, closed bearish again. And now halfway through the next candle, it looks like we're trying to push down. We're trying to go down, baby. So that's it.
Bye. I will have a good weekend, everybody.
Hey, happy weekend, Scott. Thank you so much for popping on.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys. All right. While we hang out for a second, anybody have any questions, comments, indicator related things? If I can help, I will help. Big doji, but we're still pushing up with 9 minutes left on this candle. And I don't want to buy into this big move because we've already come all the way up that far. All the way up that far too. Boom. And I'm just waiting. Gold's pushing back down. I can't even hear the music anymore. I don't know if you guys can. I don't know if it broke it or if I broke it or if somebody stole it, but it is gone now.
Jenny,
Yes, ma'am.
I've been wanting to say this. I just wanted to make a statement that a little money beats no money at all. And the reason I said that was because I didn't know that the copycatter was on, and it's been making me a little money. My account isn't very big, but to see money being added out, it tripped me out. And I was like, wow, this thing is working. And so hopefully I'll be making more money when I'm able to put more money in. But, I've been able to get a little money from your trades, because of being on the copycatter. That's a good word.
Wait, are you on the indice copycat, the index one?
Yes. And so, it's not a whole lot of money that I have, but it's still trading for me. And I didn't notice at first that it was adding money to my account. And the reason I said that because I had such a little account. And then when I started seeing money, it was tripped me out. I was like, wow. So hopefully, I'm growing my account so I can trade bigger.
Oh, well, first off, I love that. And I'm so happy for you.
Thank you.
I'm glad. And thank you for saying that you're making money on the other trades. Definitely post that in the group because people need to hear that. So you'll click in the morning, you'll be like, holy cow, nothing happened. But your trades are done and dusted by the time you wake up most of the time.
Yes, and one time I looked and I didn't know. I was like, where? I didn't think maybe I hit the button to put a trade in. I was thinking, but then when it disappeared, I was like, okay.
See,
and I knew what was going on.
Well,
But
wait,
thank you.
what? You're welcome. And what broker are you using? What contract size?
That's Plexi. I think it's Plexi.
You're using Plexi. What's the balance on the account?
I had like right now it's about $200.
Oh yeah, you can't up that lot size, girl. Sorry.
No, I'm just saying, as I add to that amount, I'll be able to do a little bit more.
Okay,
So,
Jill. Like if you would have told me some other number, I would have
No, I wasn't trying to up the lot size, but my account is going up higher. That's all I was saying.
Oh, okay, good. I was gonna say
Yeah.
you got like 1,000 in there. If you got this much on that broker, particularly, it's not financial advice, but on that broker, if you have a micro account, I would even risk, since you're attached to the copycat version, I would even risk maybe a 0.02, 0.03, 0.04. But if you got $200 and the account is growing, I guarantee you it's growing more than the bank is gonna give you. So, I mean, 10 to
Yes. And so basically, I'm just so happy to actually see it working. You know, at first I wasn't seeing it working. So, but now that it's working, I'm happy.
I'm glad. Yeah, those accounts are up. So it's the only one of those copiers that can prove its history for the past X amount of whatever. It can prove all of it, the good and the bad, including January when the election happened. Man, we took for a ride.
Yes. But just to thank you all, you know, for allowing me to come with you guys.
Come along, let's
To
take
be on the team. All right. Thank you. Thank you, Donna, too.
Donna, she says, Miss, thank you. She's on here somewhere. She says she's so happy for you. I like this for the buy, but we know what this looks like. If we take up all the noise, guys.
Yes, I'm so happy for you, Miss Charlotte. Thank you for sharing that.
Thank you all.
This is what we look for. We were looking for this head and shoulders, guys, and then we ended up coming back down a little bit. We caught some of that buy up, the bigger buy. I want to delete this, get that out of the way. Caught some of that. We wanted it to come down and retest. We didn't get as much into this little imbalance area that I wanted. So we still could come all the way back into this imbalance area we talked about earlier, but it doesn't look like it. So big bearish candle, 15-minute time frame. That's going to be hard to want to buy into, but I would scalp into it if you're interested, because we got some more room up for this long-term uptrend. Long-term. Yes. I'm just not buying the top, which means I missed out on money, but we did great this morning. We did great this morning across a lot of platforms. We did great on quite a few things, got a little bit on gold and took a loss on NQ. NQ is just now starting to want to move down because it's a brat. That's our bearish candle. We're coming into like maybe a JGS, but nothing in terms of the breakout. And that's that. So I'll take one more set of questions, comments. What are you guys going to do this weekend? I don't know if Trader A is on here.
Hey,
Josiah, hey. Don't hate me, Joshua. Don't hate me.
That's why Donna. That's why she's laughing at you. That's it right there.
I know.
You got it. You got it.
Goodness gracious, Jenny.
Hey, Jaja.
It's okay, Jen. So, David probably can ask this better though, because I was supposed to ask this question for him this morning.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, let go. Yeah, you ask.
Okay. Can you show? Okay, me and Josiah, we've been.
You're gonna mess me up even more.
Dude, come on, dude.
I had to. Okay, so we've been getting ready to transfer trading from this TradingView because it's been freezing on us, and we can't move the stop loss. It's just terrible. So we've been setting up Tradeovate.
Okay.
And we were going over it last night, and I told him, I said, look, you can put 2-minute candles on this. And he goes, you can? I showed him how. But I don't know how to set up the trailing drawdown, and how many ticks do you trail behind? I don't understand it.
Okay, so I told you guys I lost all my accounts on Wednesday. Real story. So I unfortunately have the trade zeals to prove it. But so this
I was going to ask you, Jenny, when did you said it in class this morning, but I dumbed it down. I didn't think you actually really just lost accounts like that recently.
Well,
I thought it was in the past, but you
no,
talk.
so prop firms I've done pretty well. So I've gotten payouts with Take Profit, Trader, and a couple of other prop firms. But it's a lot to learn. It's not just that it's a lot to learn, but it's also I'm doing so much. Please understand, I've got this linked through NinjaTrader, Replicanto. So when I was first getting started, I played on Top Step, as you guys mostly know, and did okay. So I got a couple of payouts last year. I got my 1099 and just cool. Learning the process. I didn't even understand contract sizes and so many things. But Project X, if you guys don't know, the COO of Project X is selling our information to everybody, including so much stuff. Not a good look. And it does appear for the most recent gossip news for prop firms. is Top Step is trying to create a regulatory body. I don't know if y'all have heard that or not, but they want to govern it, of course. Just, it sounds like a really toxic situation. So since then, it's a mess of trying to, how do you say, just navigate it all, and then to mirror properly, not out leverage. You get a Pro Plus account or something, and then you make a human mistake, or then I traded CPI one day, didn't even know I was, whatever, fine, made that mistake. Another time I had a trade open, but then I was on TradingView, so this ghost order stays there, which means I was in a perfect sell that I thought was protected. Okay, but it wasn't protected, because if this gets hit and this is not disappearing on TradingView particularly, then you lose your account. Like if I wasn't present, and I wasn't present that day, I was gone. I think we were at the beach or something with my daughter. And this was a few months ago. So it's mostly stuff like that. And then, once every so often, it's a me problem. So yeah, these are the 2 new accounts since Wednesday. I started her back to turn them on last night. I do like Take Profit Trader. These are accounts I want to keep. I want to keep them because, again, I value the way they do business. I value their payout process, but that's where they're sitting right now. I have no need to go make a boatload of money because, as you know, you have to have 5 days anyways. So started on Wednesday night, I think. But anyways, those are those 2 accounts. So I'm going to close that view. Don't need to see that. Right now I am on my NinjaTrader platform. So before I talk about any settings for the cool stuff I like, let's talk about what's bad. If you guys were in class this morning, you saw me click sell, and because it's New York Open, there's a lot of volatility there. It might also just chink chink, and then you're out, before anything happens. So there's good and bad in these processes, guys. There's always going to be a cost. This is real. It's not some perfect situation that we all like to think it is. You work hard, you spend the money, you invest it, and ideally you get your, payouts that make it worthwhile at the end of the month. The reason I'm focusing so much on this is I want to be the person that makes the 6 and 7 figure payout on Apex. But it's no kidding. Apex is hard. Like the couple different rules, it makes it hard, y'all. It's hard. It's a lot to learn for somebody like me who put on a trade and then checked it whenever I felt like it. Very different situation with a 30% drawdown rule. So now that I've said all that, we're in the process. Let's do it together. I also have my AMP account down below because it's so easy. You get your percent, you withdraw every 2 weeks, you go on with your life. Just different process there. But notice that if I'm on any of these tabs, once I have it created in Tradeovate, these settings, so if I go here, these settings are going to be different on every one of these tabs. So this is an ES setting, right? Gold, I finally was creating one this morning, has its own setting. MES, because I can afford to hold that differently, has its own setting. So you have to know that you have to set these differently based off of the ATR, because each one of these moves very differently. And just to move this out of the way for a second, yes, NQ is worth $20 a point, but it moves, I don't know, 10 times more points than ES does, right? Which is $50 a point. So this looks like it's worth more, but it's really not, because this moves, I don't know for sure, but about at least half as much, if not more. Okay, a third to probably 25% is probably where I would guesstimate. Gold, as you know, $100 a point, but this move is, that's 3 points. So to kind of give you an idea, right? Now that we've described that, you really have to know how many ticks, pips, and points this stuff is worth. So just some starting grounds. And what I typically do is if I'm taking my trade, let's say I took this, and I have to explain all this to answer that question effectively. Otherwise, I'm doing you a disservice. Let's say we're sitting above the 20. I don't mind that we just moved, to the speed of lightning. Let's say I want to take this. We've bounced off our moving average. We're coming up. This one's kind of hard because it doesn't close until way up there. So I take this retest right here. Obviously, this many pips and points, it's really going to matter. It's going to matter a whole bunch. But I need to know that if I place my entry anywhere in this candle, it's going to automatically drop my take profit and my stop loss. Okay. Going to automatically drop those. And then because I have it set that way, it'll have an auto break even at a certain number of ticks. And then it'll automatically start trailing at a certain number of ticks. So now that I've said all that, let's talk settings. And I'll put one on just so we can see it in real time. I'm going to go to one contract. This is the smaller of those 2 accounts. I can't see them, but it's the smaller one. And I'm just going to sell it. So It's only 1 micro. It's fine. They're not going to sue me. I'm in 1 micro. Just make sure I'm in the right contract. See how quick that's moving. This is set pretty loosely, so it's not going to come and pop down really quick, and it's not going to come and start trailing super fast like what we see happen on these bigger minis, because I have more room to give this more room to breathe. So these settings are definitely different. But now let's talk about settings. Again, looser settings, this is set to what? That's about 10 points. That looks like a lot in Asian session, but if you try to put this on during New York, it might be vastly too tight. Okay, way, way too tight. You see how far it is in Asian, even after this outsized move. New York, that might not be enough, so plan on that. So you can see it's about a 3-to-1 in terms of actual take profit. If the market is moving extremely well, like it did at 350 today, at, what is that, the 350 algorithm? I'm just literally dragging my take profit down and letting that trail protect my stop and just drag it down, and I'll get a whole bunch out of it. And sometimes it'll knock me out on one side or the other. And either way, both orders disappear, which is the biggest problem with trading on TradingView, is I messed up so much along the way. With some of them are traders' mistakes. I have to own that part. But the other part is you have the ghost orders that don't go anywhere, which from what I'm understanding is not a big problem if you're not logged into other places. But for me, it's a huge problem. I don't know if it's the mirroring. I don't know why. I hate that platform for trading. I hate it. I hate it with a dying passion. But 40, 121, these settings right here, I have auto break even plus auto trail. You don't have to choose all of those. And by all means, please do your due diligence on what each of these mean. My original intention was to use the trailing stop limit, because if you go look that up of what that means in terms of the difference between the trailing stop and the stop limit, one is more optimal pricing, but I'll let you Google that to find out what that means exactly. I will say when I tested it, I didn't like the way it functioned. So it could be a me issue, but that's what I originally planned on using. Didn't end up sticking with it. But granted, this was a while back, so maybe it's worth revisiting. So look up what it means though. In general, I'm using auto break even plus auto trail. Click that. I'm going to pull this up a little. Actually, I don't think I can. You guys already know. These are ultimately going to be up to you. This is MES, meaning it's looser settings. Profit trigger. So once I'm up pretty much a 1-to-1, I'm locking in essentially 1 point. Okay. So on ES, that's about 60 bucks, right? Well, what is it? 55? Don't quote me. 50-ish something. Okay. Plus there's fees and stuff involved. So I'm locked in with something. If it comes back, I'm not going to take a big loss against me. Cool. You'll notice these are very loose. I would never put that as my ES setting, and I would never put that as an Apex setting either, because this on Apex will blow the whole account if it's an NQ trade. So that's way too big, in my opinion. It's way too much to give back. It's way too much to be exposed personally. But on this, meant to kind of catch a move like tonight, an overnight move where I just don't mind, and it's going to trail, and I can trust that these orders will delete effectively, unlike the orders we place on TradingView that simply do not delete effectively. This does delete effectively, which is another reason why we like this versus just dragging them and dropping them. Because if you drop them, you might not see it off screen, and then you accidentally blow a whole bunch of accounts if they're all being mirrored. This, if you have it set properly and you're not messing it up, no matter what, you can take your trade, but all orders will delete, and it'll be just like trading on the other brokers you're used to. So, profit.
So can you explain? Okay, so that last box, stop loss 16, profit trigger 100. Explain, is that 16 ticks behind?
So basically, once this trade is up by 100 ticks, what's going to happen is
goes to break even.
No, remember, it's already break even from up here. 16 ticks from where current price is, that's how far back the trail is going to be. That's where my stop loss will be moved to.
Okay, good. I understand.
At this point, I'm locking in 84 ticks. What is that? 20 points, right?
Okay. Yeah.
84, so 21 points, technically speaking. 21 points on ES. Oh God, you're gonna make me do bad math in public. I don't know. Hold on. Let me get my
Well, 4 points a tick, right? It's like 20.
21 times 50. That's $1,050 if this was one ES. On MES, hold on. 84. So we're locking in 84 ticks times 12.5. Really? No, on that can't be right. Is it right? Don't ask me the math. Hold on. 84 ticks, right?
Mhm.
$12 a tick. That's correct. So 84 is 1,050
Yeah.
off of one single contract. So as you can see, this is meant to be very far away. This is set really high for, look what happened at 350. Okay. Look what happened at, you've got, what is it? 350. We saw that a little bit earlier today as well. We saw it a couple of times. So a few weeks ago when we had all the tariff stuff, this was happening in a millisecond. Full transparency, haven't put a lot of ES trades on manually. So if I were to trade this now, I would probably lower that. But at the time before, so maybe a little while ago, I was still trading mostly ES. But just to kind of give you an idea, you are going to have to adapt these based off of current market conditions. If you're
Okay.
trading Asian, you might want to limit this. If
What
you're
is that frequency?
So once I hit 100 ticks in profit, then every 4 ticks in profit I move, I'm going to be trailing it by 16 ticks from there. So like if we hit 104, now I am, what is that? Bad math. So 88, I'm 88 ticks in profit. Once I hit 116, I'm 100 ticks in profit. And it just keeps trailing me down.
So those are all ticks, not points, right?
Ticks, not points. Ticks is
Yeah. Okay.
quarter
4
point.
ticks to the point.
That's correct. So like if I
Okay.
were to go off tonight, the couple of things to say is prop firms don't like it, and neither do other risk managers when we move our stop losses out, right? There's even certain managers that have that setting that doesn't allow you to move your stop loss. So if you have to have a preset setting, start with it out further, because worst case, you can move it in. Okay.
Right.
So that's what I would be doing. And now looking at these, which again, God bless you if somebody sneezed, but every ES trade or MES trade I take is usually on my main account. I'm trading a mini, and then it mirrors to all of my copier accounts as micros. So I haven't taken a lot of these. If I were to do this today, I would probably be much closer to a 2-to-1. So that would be an 80, for example, or even 60. Okay, so that's a 1.5 to 1. And then just let it trail, because anything above 1.5 to 1, you really only need, gosh, 60% accuracy, and you're withdrawing effectively. So you're doing pretty good. It's kind of how I would have that set up. But play with it.
Can you paper trade on this platform?
No, so you can technically sign up with the Tradeovate account, but that demo account is only good for 14 days, which again, I learned out the hard way. Because
Be nice to play with it before we put money in it.
so start with MYM, okay? MYM is one of the most inexpensive instruments you can trade. Make all your mistakes there and practice on that for a month, because it's a lot to learn. It's not that complicated. And you'll notice the price action over here. This is a different broker. This one is Take Profit. The other one I was trading on earlier is Ninja. But price action, and this is Asian session, mind you. So let's go to MES. Let's go to the 1 minute. And then just watch how the price action, you'll notice one of them is like just completely moving all over the place, and it looks wild while this one looks pretty darn still. So let me pull this on screen. It's not going to be that dramatic right now, mostly because we're in Asian, but you'll notice this isn't adjusting or moving very much, as opposed to this, which is moving up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. It's moving a lot, moving very.
Yeah.
This lags is typically a few points or ticks behind. The fills are worse when you're trading on here. The fills are much better trading over here.
Okay.
And let's see what else. Oh, last, again, these are loose settings. I'm going to pull this back on screen. Once this automatically drops my stop loss and my take profit, okay, but notice that's pretty far away, I can move it in, okay? I can move this up if I'm only looking to get into here, right? If I go to, we're moving down now. This is the smaller account. Hold on. So watch how tight this is, and hopefully I don't foobar it too much. Should probably take it more seriously, but if I sell ask is always going to sell a tick behind. Now it's activated. If I sell market, it's selling right now. Oh, excuse me, I had to clear my throat. It's selling right now. like in this case, I really can't move it up too much. I mean, if anything, I'd probably try to get it out of the way closer to that point of control. But if this will give us a nice little drop real quick, you'll see this will kick in so quick. I'll be up about $125 and this automatically comes and locks it. And because NAS moves so fast, it starts moving down and my trail just starts going with it. Now, I can't promise we're going to get that move right now, and I'm probably going to protect this pretty well. But let me just show this as a demonstration. It's not even about the money. Hold on. Come on. Let me see. But as it's moving, it's probably going to pull back up a little bit before we drop. It's not giving it to us. So what is that? 70, $90. I really
Here
don't.
it comes. Here it comes.
Come on, be patient, huh?
Uh,
Now imagine this mirroring to 20, 30 accounts, or let's just be more fair, 15, 25 accounts. Because there's been times I've been mirroring 30 accounts at a time between evals and then actual funded accounts, testing out. I've tested probably what 9-ish prop firms now just to get a feeling. So it's a lot. This might only be $30 or something, but spread on those many accounts. Remember, the other ones are smaller if they're taking micros instead of the minis. You don't need very much. So I just want to lock this quick, get the money. If I make more on that trade, great. Now, granted, the downside to having that setting is you get knocked out at break evens quite often. And that does suck. But for something like Apex, it's what I need. I need to get knocked out with break evens when possible. I will show you if this kicks on. If it doesn't kick on, I can't show you. It's got to give us a drop that's a little bit bigger. That's 4 points, 4.5 points. It should any second now. I don't want to go click on it to check it for you because
that's $125 right there.
it's a mini. Well, what is NQ is set to? 32. Oh, that's stupid. Hold on, 32. How many points is that? It's 8. Okay. I increased it during New York this morning. During Asian, I would keep it like at 24. I don't think it's going to auto update on this one.
It's probably not going to break that area.
No, especially not while we're watching paint dry. So, but what it would look like is this is going to drop down right below the order. And then if it pops back up, cool, you got out with the 1.5, 2 points, which in this case is, 20 to 50 or $15 or something like that. Cool. You're done.
How far, and it drops down when it goes to break even, it's already 16 ticks.
Well, I was hoping this would move before I click on this because I'm going to click on it and it's going to gray this out, sadly. But these settings, see how that's set to 32? I turned this up during New York because 24 is much too small for New York.
Okay.
If I'm an Asian and I wanted to be super protective, I could even do 18 or 16, which is 4 points. That's $80 to kind of give you an idea. But I promise you, if you kick something like 18, you're probably going to get in and get out. Like it's going to happen so quick. 32 is kind of necessary, in my opinion, for New York, and that's kind of bare minimum. This protects 1 point plus fees, and that's it. Notice how take profits 200. This is 60, so it's 15 points. This is not enough for most New Yorks. It's just not enough. I would need like 80, and that's best case scenario. This is set to 60, so again, that's about 15 points. Notice how far away that one is. That's 6 points back, so that's $120 back is how much I'm giving back, but I have to give that much back on NQ. And then every 8 ticks, which is 2 points. So every 2 points, it's going to keep moving up. I've tried this with tighter settings, and there's no room on NQ.
Yeah, it moves too fast.
It just moves too fast.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm gonna have to. That's a lot. So I'm gonna have to get a couple of videos together and study.
This platform has no bells and no whistles. It is amazing, though. It truly, truly is amazing. The only deficit that I have is take Profit Trader. For every good thing I have to say about them, I have one bad thing to say. Oh, that's stupid trade. I'm going to exit all. Now I'm out. Oh, by the way, one more thing to show you. I can also reverse and cancel. So like if I saw this was pulling up right here, and this is what I have done, and I can promise you is very profitable. Let's say you're taking something like a breakout or the JGS. As we come up into this range, and I know if we're going to break above, I'm probably coming up into this imbalance. So this is probably the target we're about to hit right now. If I was trading that breakout that we traded at 9 and I wasn't trying to focus on Zoom and all the things, I would have got into this trade or whatever. And as we reversed, I can click this button up here where it says reverse and cancel. All that's going to do is it's going to close my sell order and immediately place a buy of the same size. So that's an option too, that I can click on cancel all. I can click on reverse and cancel. I can click on exit and market cancel all. But always click this 100 times right here. Every time you go onto any chart, because that's one of the things people will tell you, especially when you're managing this many accounts, because you don't know if there's an order on another account, especially if you're mirroring lots of different accounts. It's a whole mess. It is definitely a whole mess. But also when you're on this platform, you can see things like the distance to daily drawdown. You have so much more data and information. The only thing Take Profit Trader doesn't do, which I think is very stupid, is this does not function on.
Yeah, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
They lock it. They get everything else right, but they don't get that right, which I think is lame.
Terrible.
Yeah.
That's why the next thing I'm going to test, which probably means I'm going to make a bunch of mistakes, and I'm trying to find some grace in all these learning processes I keep taking on. The next thing I'm going to test is the affordable indicators, and then there's another one that's online, but it's very expensive. So I think a business relationship with this company would be phenomenal, but I don't know how practical it is for most of its clients, most of our clientele anyways. And I mean that with the most amount of respect. I want to offer the best, but most people are not spending $500 a month on Bookmap. Most people are not spending $500 a month on a strategy / copy trader. And that's how much it is. It's pushing $500 a month. So whereas like affordable indicators is, what is it with the discount codes and stuff? I think it's like 200 or 300 lifetime access one time. But we looked at that this morning, the affordable indicators, it'll group all these properly. It'll allow you to put a daily loss limit, even on stuff like Take Profit Trader. It will stop trading after you hit a certain amount on the day or drawdown. It will switch to maze and micro. It does a lot of things. I'm not an expert yet. I'm gonna have to go fail forward and take my licks to figure it out and go from there. Oh, come on. It's not gonna give it to me. I really want to show you how this works, but I'm also don't want to take on a crap ton of risk. But just so you see, because I'm probably down on the day now after that trade. Let's go to 18, locking 3. Let's do 30, 36. We're also sitting right above that VWAP on different. And this is something I try to explain to other people too. This broker is Apex, okay? So here's Apex to kind of give you an idea, right? Oh, I took a NAS trade over here too. That one's right because it had that management on, it was already in and out. But notice where we're sitting at the VWAP over here, 1 minute NQ. It uses the data from this broker. This data on this broker is literally entry exit data collection point. So when price differs that much, that's a huge problem. My internet connection is unstable, huh? Can you still hear me?
You cut out for a minute, and that's pretty fuzzy.
Sorry, I think I've got internet just disconnected me. But can you see it better now?
It's fuzzy.
Oh. Well, I don't know. God just said no. They should be shutting everything down, but just kind of give you an idea, what I was saying before all that stuff happened was the VWAP. Did you guys hear that conversation? The VWAP being different?
Yes.
It is very different. So this is one broker. This is another. We're sitting below on NQ here. We're sitting retesting it here. And if so many people are using VWAP, and then if we minimize this one, if I pull that off, whoopsie, I'll keep that there. VWAP here. This is, let's go to NQ, is sitting there. So when I talk about in the morning class that, hey, it's just different, you know, be careful what your settings are, be careful what you're using, what you're trusting. VWAP might be a really cool thing that people talk about, but if it this different, it has 0% value if yours is set differently. 0, 0. So, but now we're getting the sell to the downside. In total, I'm up $1,400 on that account on the day, on the one account from the trades we did take. Gold ended up moving up beautifully. Didn't catch all that. Was looking for a re-entry, but we stopped paying attention in around here. So kind of perfect. NQ, one loss, one win if we would have taken it, and we're coming down into our next range to potentially sell down. So got our couple of trades, but does anybody else have any questions? Let me pull up YouTube too. Good night, everyone. Good night, Lawrence. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. It's always a good time. Sorry for whatever just happened with YouTube.
Thank you for all you done tonight, Jenny. And I'm hollering at y'all later. I'm going to bed.
Yeah, we all need to go to bed. Happy Friday. Please make sure everything's closed before tomorrow. It's NFP, guys. Be safe. You don't need to be up a whole bunch. Happy weekend. Post all your weekends and stuff in the chat. Oh, the secret code is 6FTC. There's a computer generated system that picked that, so it's fitting. And that's how you enter to win the next $50,000 prop firm. Daniel, please make sure you reach out to us via email so you can get your prizes. And happy weekend. Take care and God bless, guys.
God bless you, Jenny. Thank you.
Oh, how do I wait? Huh.
Have a good night.
You too. Thank you. I gotta figure out. I think I have to end this stream before I'm allowed to end the. Y'all gonna laugh at me. But that's okay.
All right, Jen.
We can laugh together. Hey, wait. Joshua, good night.